What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio for Thursday, May 21st, 2015, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. David Letterman peppered his final monologue as host of CBS's The Late Show with wisecracks about Scientology, recently resurfaced controversial immigrant Elian Gonzalez and other topics of the day on Wednesday. Letterman, who entered the stage to a standing ovation, started out with a joke about his infamous loss of the hosting gig on NBC's The Tonight Show, which went to Jay Leno. He quipped, "I'll be honest with you, it's beginning to look like I'm not going to get The Tonight Show," starting the joking portion of the evening. Letterman cracked afterwards. When asked what he's going to do now that he's retired, he quoted by saying, "I hope to become the new face of Scientology." He knew it was time to go when the cue card guy told him he, quote, "can't write the words any bigger." Letterman then rolled segment Comedy We Would Have Done Tomorrow, which took shots at Hillary Clinton and Mike Huckabee, as well as a Mad Max supercut. After the short gag, Letterman added up all the episodes he's done, saying that it all comes down to about 8 minutes of laughter. He also said the biggest problem with not having a show is that when he screws up, he'll, quote, have to go on someone else's show to apologize. Letterman then got a nice tribute from Fox's The Simpsons. Later one would come from Wheel of Fortune. Letterman continued along. "Do you remember Elian Gonzalez? The kid is 21 years old yesterday, and yesterday he announced that he wants to come back to America. Now my question to you is, should I take this personally?" When asked about his partnership with CBS bandleader Paul Schaefer, he said, "We are going to continue on in show business. Next month in June, Paul and I will be debuting our new act with White Tigers." For Letterman's final episode, the top 10 list, a staple of the show, received a twist with stars including Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Alan Baldwin, Bill Murray, Tina Fey, Peyton Manning, and Jim Carrey joining forces to read off the list. The subject, top 10 things I've always wanted to say to Dave. Among the zingers, Seinfeld alum Julia Louis-Dreyfus declaring, "Thanks for letting me take part in another hugely disappointing series finale." And Chris Rock noting, "I'm just glad your show is being given to another white guy." Former The Colbert Report host Stephen Colbert will be taking over the show in September. Other big moments on the night include the re-airing of a 1996 Taco Bell remote, a new Day in the Life of David Letterman segment, a musical performance of Everlong by the Foo Fighters, a Day with Kids package, and a pre-taped skit featuring Presidents Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and George H.W. Bush, which each of them saying with the funny quote, "Our long national nightmare is finally over," which was taken from the inaugural words of President Ford. The host's final late show last night scored his best local ratings, a very early daily Nielsen measurement since December 2005. Dave's final bout actually topped all primetime programming on Wednesday, despite existing in a much later and thus less desirable time slot. As a result of Letterman's successful send-off, James Corden's Late Late Show hit a new high afterwards. Here are Dave's details. From 11:30 to 1 a.m., the final broadcast of The Late Show with David Letterman delivered its highest local rating since December 1st, 2005, 10.1 out of 24. That episode, about 9.5 years ago, boasted guests Oprah Winfrey and Bonnie Raitt. From 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., The Late Late Show with James Corden had an additional average of 2.5 out of 10, earning a new all-time high local rating up to 79% from last week, 1.4 out of 5, and 150% from the same night last year, 1.0 out of 3. CBS will release updated fast national ratings for both The Late Show and The Late Late Show later today. The Late Late Show host James Corden celebrated David Letterman's last late show by pissing off rocker Sting outside the Ed Sullivan Theater on Wednesday. The Late Late Show host sat next to the rock icon as he performed Every Breath You Take and then ruined the hypnotic 1983 Police single by improvising some rap verses. "What are you doing?" Sting deadpans in the segment that opened The Late Late Show. Corden responded, "I just thought I'd add some lyrics to make it a bit more ghetto." Sting shoots back, "We don't need a big more ghetto. This is a great song. It's a tribute to Dave. It's his last show. We don't need none of that. Thank you." Sting isn't the only artist Corden rocked out on Wednesday's episode. Justin Bieber joined the late night host for some carpool karaoke. Justin Bieber joined the Late Late Show host James Corden for a round of carpool karaoke on Wednesday. With Corden behind the wheel and Bieber riding shotgun, the two cruised around Los Angeles, rocking out to Bieber's smash hit single Baby. They also exchanged some hilarious dialogue, with Corden telling Bieber, "When I picked you up, I didn't recognize you for a minute because you had a top on." At one point, Corden pulled over so some fans could snap a quick picture with Bieber. Corden said, "Sorry about that. Big fans of the Late Late Show, I think. They probably didn't want to ask me for a photo because they know I get it all the time." Corden also had Bieber demonstrate his Rubik's Cube skills before the pair jammed out to one last song, "End of the Road" by Boyz II Men. Bill Cosby's legal woes keep on mounting. The comedian, who has been besieged by accusations of sexual assault by dozens of women in recent months, has now been hit with a defamation lawsuit by model Janice Dickinson, who earlier accused Cosby of sexually assaulting her. The lawsuit, filed Wednesday in Los Angeles Superior Court, says Dickinson has suffered defamation and emotional distress as a result of Cosby's representatives denying her claims that the comedian had sexually assaulted her. The legal papers obtained by the rap said defendant Cosby knows that he drugged and raped Ms. Dickinson. He knew that calling her rape disclosure a lie was a false statement. The suit seeks unspecific damages. In November, former American Next Top model Judge Dickinson came forward to claim that Cosby assaulted her in 1982 in Lake Tahoe, adding that the comedian gave her wine and pills that caused her to pass out. She also added that the next morning she woke up and she wasn't wearing her pajamas. And she also added that, "I remember before passing out that I had been sexually assaulted by this man," Dickinson claimed. And she also added, "Before I woke up in the morning, the last thing I remember was Bill Cosby in a patchwork robe, dropping his robe and getting on top of me. And I remember a lot of pain. The next morning, I remember waking up with my pajamas off and there was semen in between my legs." Cosby's lawyer, Marty Singer, quickly and strongly denied Dickinson's claims, calling them an outrageous defamatory lie. In a letter to the Rap at the time, Singer cited a passage from Dickinson's autobiography and in a 2002 interview with the New York Observer, in which Dickinson purportedly claimed that Cosby, quote, blew her off after dinner because she didn't sleep with him. Singer says her news story claiming that she had been sexually assaulted is a defamatory fabrication. Dickinson's lawsuit addressed the autobiography, saying that she was barred from disclosing the rape allegation in the book. The suit claims that Dickinson has suffered, quote, loss to her reputation, shame, mortification, and hurt feelings, among other damages. Cosby has been plagued by a scandal since late last year, with women after women coming forward to claim that he sexually assaulted them. A common theme of the allegations is that he drugged the women before the assaults. Cosby's attorney has publicly denied sexual assault claims leveled at his client. However, Singer has not yet responded to the Rap's request for comment on Dickinson's lawsuit. Since the scandal erupted, Cosby has suffered several career setbacks, including ABC shelving a sitcom that it was developing as a starring vehicle for the 77-year-old comedian. Netflix likewise postponed a comedy special starring the comedian that was slated to run late last year. Cosby is also being sued by a trio of accusers: Tamara Green, Therese Serenginis, and Linda Traitz, who claims they were defamed by denials made through his representatives. After a lengthy silence, Cosby vaguely addressed the scandal last week on Good Morning America, saying, quote, "I have been in this business over 52 years, and I have never seen anything like this." The comedian added, "Reality is the situation, and I can't speak." Fox host Bill O'Reilly's teenage daughter told a court-appointed forensics examiner that she saw her dad physically abuse her mother. Gawker obtained a partial transcript from the 2014 custody trial between O'Reilly and his ex-wife Marie McPhimmy. The statement by Manhattan psychologist Larry Cohen, who was assigned by Nassau County Supreme Court Justice to interview each member of the family, supports reports that O'Reilly physically abused his ex-wife. McPhilly's attorney, Casey Greenfield, asked Cohen during a cross-examination recorded last year, "In the course of your meetings with the children, did either of them describe any incidents of domestic violence between their parents?" Cohen said yes, before elaborating that O'Reilly's daughter, quote, said her dad was choking her mother or had his hands around her neck and dragged her down some stairs. O'Reilly, the host of Fox News' The O'Reilly Factor, denied doing so in a statement released to the media on Monday. He said, "All allegations against me in these circumstances are 100% false. I am going to respect the court-mandated confidentiality put in place to protect my children and will not comment any further." O'Reilly's daughter, who was 15 at the time of the interview with the psychologist, also told Cohen that the media personality said her mother quote, is an adulterer. Her stepfather is not a good person. And, quote, if she spends her time or more time at the mother's home, it will ruin her life. Moreover, Cohen's testimony reveals that O'Reilly's daughter cried after he threw temper tantrums, or what O'Reilly himself describes to the psychologist as, quote, going ballistic. Cohen says his daughter called the emotional outburst scary and demeaning. Apparently, O'Reilly wasn't around very much either. Greenfield asked Cohen if O'Reilly's daughter, quote, reported to you that her father was never around to have a relationship with her for 11 years, correct? Cohen responded, that's what she said. Greenfield asked, and the word, when I emphasized the word never, that was her word. It was not. Cohen responded, yes, it was. Mike Holloway, a 38-year-old oil driller from North Richland Hills, Texas, won Survival's World apart during a live broadcast Wednesday night from CBS Studio Center in Studio City, California. Holloway took home $1 million check and the title Soul Survivor. The latest winner began the season portraying as a bossy loudmouth who moronically ate a scorpion on day one. He morphed into a fan favorite mid-season, emerging as a lone wolf from a stew of verbal abuse, paternalistic misogyny, and bratty entitlement among a cast that had the internet commentary slug this season as villains versus villains. The official title of it was White Collar versus Blue Collar versus No Collar. The buzzy season consisted won its time slot and served as the lead-in to David Letterman's final show. The finale excitement was overdubbed in many ways by CBS's own creative promotion for the upcoming fall season dubbed Second Chances. Over the last 2 weeks, fans have been voting on a cast of 20 Survival alum from a field of 32. All the contenders have only competed once and have never won. CBS reported that over 10 million votes had been cast for the competition. GoldDerby.com, the site best known for its Oscar and Emmy nods from experts, weighed in with their own tracking poll on the vote on. In a marketing first, the candidates were set free and unencumbered by any news network press restrictions to campaign, do their own press, and run their own amateur and sometimes professional marketing campaigns to try and earn a spot on the season. As of 10 a.m. on Wednesday morning, the candidates were already sequestered in a Los Angeles hotel. One contestant was still doing her own live radio interview campaign for votes. Yahoo CEO Marissa Mayer weighed in, encouraging her colleagues to support, quote, two of our Yahoos, as both Shrillin Osuki and Andrew Savage work for the online giant. One player offered discounts from his Colorado medical marijuana dispensary in exchange for votes. A veteran from the season 2 in 2001 put up billboards in Atlanta. Another had his moves chronicled by local press as he was playing in honor of his mother, a breast cancer survivor. Yet another candidate, Monica Padilla, published a video of her running down Hollywood Boulevard in a bikini to score votes. Immediately after the finale, CBS was expected to immediately sequester the new cast, where they were headed off to Cambodia after a media junket in Los Angeles. This season, the original reality franchise is averaging 11.36 million viewers, with a 3 out of 10 in the key 18-49 demographics, and 25% higher in the next demo up, with 3.9 out of 11 and 25 out of 54. It has been first on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. in these categories, skipping Idol. Bojack Horseman and Friends will recommence horsing around on July 17th. Netflix will dump all 12 Season 2 episodes 1 minute after midnight Pacific time on that Friday, so clear your weekend plans. The animated comedy's cast includes Will Arnett, Aaron Paul, Amy Sedaris, and Alison Brie. Arnett voices Bojack, a legendary 90s sitcom star who has been trying to find his way through a muddle of self-loathing, whiskey, and failed relationships. Netflix accurate words, but not ours. Now starring in his dream movie, a biopic of Secretariat, but humbled by the events of last season, Bojack attempts to use his career's second win as a stepladder to a springboard to become a newer, better Bojack. But new challenges on set and his personal life and the demons of his past make it difficult to shake off the skin of his previous self. Netflix said on Thursday, if Season 1 of Bojack Horseman is about a character learning he needs to change, the new season is about whether or not he can. It's a character in a rut trying to pull out of that rut and the rut pulling back. Plus, there will be a bunch of surprise guest stars and funny talking animal jokes, the steaming giant promise. Bojack Horseman was created by Ralph Bob Waksberg, who executive produces the cartoon alongside Stephen A. Cohen and Noel Bright. Voice stars Arnett and Paul also served as executive producers. Bojack was designed by graphic artist Lisa Hannawalt and animated by LA-based Shadow Machine. Bojack was renewed in August. Season 1 is now streaming on Netflix. Oscar nominee Maggie Gyllenhaal, who's getting Emmy buzz for her work on the Sundance miniseries The Honorable Woman, reveals that she was recently turned down for a role in a movie because she was too old to play the love interest for a 55-year-old man. She said during an interview for an upcoming issue of the Rap magazine, "There are things that are really disappointing about being an actress in Hollywood that surprise me all the time. I'm 37, and I was told recently I was too old to play the lover of a man who was 35. It was astonishing to me. It made me feel bad, and then it made me feel angry, and then it made me laugh." Hollywood has come under severe scrutiny for persistently low number of leading roles for women in the movies, and the ACLU recently requested that state and federal agencies investigate Hollywood studios, networks, and talent agencies over gender discrimination. The San Diego State University Center for the Study of Women in Television and Film found that there are fewer jobs available for leading actresses since female characters make up just 12% of protagonists in the top 100 domestic grossing films of 2014. This figure is 3% below 2013's study and 4% below the number in 2002. Gyllenhaal declined to specify the project on which he was considered too old, but we're wide open to suggestions, with casting out there with a 55-year-old leading man. Gyllenhaal said she was hopeful for women. She said a lot of actresses are doing incredible work right now playing real women, complicated women. So the actress who won a Golden Globe in January for a role in The Honorable Woman as an Anglo-Israeli businesswoman. And she also added, "I don't feel despairing at all, and I'm more looking with hope for something fascinating." Alchemy has officially captured The Lobster, starring Colin, Farrell, and Rachel Weisz, the independent distributor announced Wednesday. Premiering at the Cannes Film Festival, the film is the first English-language effort from Greek director Yorgos Lanthimos, whose 2009 film Dogtooth was an Oscar nominee for Best Foreign Language Film. The film stars Farrell as a man, quote, whose recovery from an 11-year relationship is complicated by the fact that he lives in a society that can't abide single people, wrote the rap Stephen Pine. Lobster, which also stars John C. Reilly and Ben Whishaw, play out in future where a bucolic but creepy resort hotel takes guests in for 45 days, in which that time they must either find true love or be turned into the animal of their choice. Lanthimos set the stage for such an alternative social realities with Dogtooth, about a husband and wife who keep their adult children in perpetual childhood within the walls of a compound. Alchemy previously picked up another buzzy Cannes title, Gaspar Noé's Love, the sexually explicit telling of a love triangle among two girls and a boy. The Cannes Film Festival is winding down with a little love. Gaspar Noé's 3D tale of two young women and a young man arranged in a heavy emotional sexual relationship saw its red carpet premiere in rainy southern France on Thursday. Not that the film wasn't the center of a festival buzz from day one, as its posters papered the luxurious beach town early on, depicting graphic scenes like three tongues enthusiastically exploring each other, extreme close-up of genitalia and underwear, and web-only versions that were explicitly pornographic. All the steam from that buzz campaign appears to have evaporated. Love offers glimmers of the cinematic elements that have made Noé's style both confrontational and fluid in the past, but none of that can rescue the underlying simplicity that hangs over each scene, wrote the Indie Wire. Robbie Colin of The Telegraph says, largely hopeless, which is doubly annoying, as I've had Masterpiece queued up for the last month. Swiss jeweler De Grise Gonono held a bash at Andre Ballas' festival staple Hotel de Coupe, which saw a lingering Natalie Portman attending in addition to Mary J. Blige and a pack of models burning up runways and Instagram. Carla Devinaciani, Kendall Jenner, Chanel Iman, Carly Kloss, and Joe Smalls all attended, with executive appearances from the likes of Harvey Weinstein and wife Georgiana Chapman. The next day, the glamorous pack showed up in a Fendi luncheon hosted by Karl Lagerfeld. I Am Global announced Wednesday that it had sold the rights to the Tom Hanks vehicle The Circle, co-starring It Girl Alicia Vikander, to a large number of independent territories in lieu of a multi-territory studio deal. Based on the novel of the same name by David Eggers, the film follows a woman, Vikander, who goes to work for an internet company called The Circle. The company, running out of a sprawling California campus, links users' personal emails, social media, banking, and purchasing with their universal operating system. She eventually takes up with the mysterious older man played by Hanks. Hanks produced the film under his Playtone banner. It was directed by James Ponsoldt, who also adapted the novel. IFC Films has acquired the U.S. rights to the West End film A Perfect Day, directed by Spanish filmmaker Fernando Leon de Aranana. The film, which premiered in Cannes, starred Benicio del Toro, Tim Robbins, Olga Kurylenko, Melanie Thierry, and Fedja Stukan. Set in the Balkans in the mid-90s, the film follows a group of aid workers as they try to resolve a crisis in an armed conflict zone. Leon de Arona, who co-wrote the script with Diego Fares, also produced under his Hesposado banner with Charui Rores of Media Pro and executive producers Patricia De Munz and Javier Menendez. The Communities in School Los Angeles Benefit hosted an event chaired by Reese Witherspoon and husband Jim Toff on her J.K. Living's Foundation Shannon Rottenberg at a dropout prevention event. Nothing could be done about the music waffling across Rustling Canyon on Monday night while most children were being put to bed. Coldplay frontman Chris Martin joked to the crowd gathering in Robin and Ed Berman's lush backyard garden party. We put our little cards up in the local Starbucks saying we were available for gigs. The Bermans were very sweet and called us up, as he was the surprise performer at the Communities in School Los Angeles annual gala. While Martin's jokes drew laughs, the reality is that Martin didn't call his bandmate Johnny Buckland to ask him to join him until 5 p.m. Monday afternoon, 2 hours before cars started pulling into the Palisades for the event dedicated to dropout prevention. The pair figured out their set on the fly. Martin continued, "We are going to play some songs by the band Coldplay. They are from England. Nobody really knows about them, but we can play their stuff really well." Martin and Buckland proceeded to play acoustic versions of classics Clocks, Paradise, and a Sky Full of Stars, taking a suggestion for the final song from Martin's offspring Moses and Apple, who were seated Indian-style on the grass in front of the stage. Martin calls them his co-managers before ordering them off to bedtime when he walked off stage. But that might not have been the most surreal cameo of the night. A scraggly Matthew McConaughey and Oisin Camila Aviles popped up on the monitors from somewhere in French Customs, delivered a selfie video of congrats to honoree Shannon Rottenberg, the executive director of the Actors J.K. Living Foundation. The McConaughey clan looked like they were stranded in a desolated airport, a rival's half, but the interstellar star had a steady selfie hand. An iced-down raw bar of oysters, shrimps, and truffle macaroni muffins greeted a few hundred of CIS's executive director Deborah Marcus's loyalists. It was all perched next to an infinity pool on the edge of the canyon that could be doubled for the Amazon behind the Berman's home. Molly Sims, Amy Smar, Carter Ocherhouse, Mac Lineran, Ali Larder, and Hayes MacArthur, Magendra Delfino, and Dave Walton, and Allison Pitt, and Josh Leonard were among the crowd. In addition to co-chair Jim Thoff of CAA, the event drew support from a broad swath of Hollywood execs like Lionsgate CEO John Featherheimer and CAA boss Richard Lovett, who waived his auction number during the direct appeal starting at $10,000. CIS Los Angeles fosters a community of support, not just for top-ranking students who can earn college scholarships, but then alter the course of their lives. They zero in on high school students who can miss that threshold and partner with schools to provide 5 basics, such as a marketable skill to use upon graduation and one-on-one relationship with a caring adult. Their empirical data is impressive. The program's students enjoy a 96% graduation rate compared to the district's 64% clip. CAA agent Brian Lucas, whose living room concert series in Laurel Canyon are invite-only hot tickets, was honored for his even more private hands-on work as a board member for CIS LA. Josh Alcacer was honored as the CIS Site Coordinator of the Year. Shannon Mabray Rottenberg was the third honoree of the night, who, in addition to running the J.K. Living Foundation, is a frequent running partner of Reese Witherspoon, who introduced her to the crowd. And finally, here are the top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart. At number 10, Ed Sheeran with Thinking Out Loud. Number 9, T. Wayne with Nasty Freestyle. Number 8, Ellie Goulding with Love Me Like You Do. Number 7, Sugar by Maroon 5. Number 6, Jason Derulo with Want to Want Me. Number 5, Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars with Uptown Funk. Number 4, Walk the Moon with Shut Up and Dance. Number 3, The Weeknd with Earn It from the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack. Number 2, Fetty Wap with Trap Queen. And still number 1 on the charts was Khalifa featuring Charlie Puth with See You Again. And as your entertainment report for Thursday, May 21st, 2015, I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to wrap up the week, delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter @The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to our page. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.